the wild winds call. Jasper's walking, taking pictures of it all. Boots on the ground, heart in the sky, following the blazes, just a rambling guy. Through the valleys, over the hills, chasing that freedom, feeling the thrill. With every sunrise, he's finding his way, living the dream, one step a day. Trail named Jasper, walking on through, Bruce trail bound with a camera view, hiking the ridges, chasing the light.
The wind's blowing. Going about 50 kilometers right now. And snowing horizontally, raining horizontally. Mixed bag of cookies right there. Temperature's right on -1. It's -1 degree Celsius. I think the wind chill factor, I don't know, -7 maybe, but it feels cold. Feels cold. Whew. A couple of days ago it was 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius, something like that. 72 degrees Fahrenheit, sorry. And today, minus whatever. That's Ontario in the very, very, very early spring. One day we can have midsummer temperatures, Caribbean temperatures. The next day we can have polar, Arctic, North Pole temperatures. Anything like that in springtime. Ooh, that wind is strong. Hey, Jasper here. Good morning. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Wow. Well, today is March the 22nd. It's a Saturday morning. And we are out once again, back on the Ganaraska Trail. Continuing our rehabilitation training. And today, we're hoping, I picked a lousy day for it, but we're hoping to up the distance a little bit. So, in my rehabilitation hike so far, I'm up to 12.5 kilometers. Today, I'd like to increase that to around 15 kilometers. With a 25-pound pack. That's okay. As I say, high winds, cold temperatures, horizontally blowing snow, and yeah, actually, perfect training day. Perfect training day. Especially for those trails such as the Appalachian Trail, where they say a start. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's get to hiking, shall we? Man, we have a little bit of a reprieve because we have a high snowbank at the side of us here. Oh, maybe around as tall as I am. So it's melted a lot. Because I think this is the area where, on our first video training, maybe a week or so ago, that was probably 10 feet tall. So we've got a little, well, not much of a reprieve, but a little bit from that wind and the blowing snow. Oh boy, beautiful homes. Beautiful homes on one side. The trail behind me, that's beautiful too, by the way. The snowbanks, the dunes of snow, they're also beautiful. Oh yeah. Even though it's cold, windy, challenging today, we're on the flat trail, and that's okay. My hip, I think today is somewhere around day 45 maybe, something like that. My hip feels fine today. I do have problems with the right Achilles heel that I've had for several months, but I don't want to address that now, only because if they do surgery on that, I've kind of investigated it, and rehabilitation takes months on that too, so I really don't want to tie up the time. But that's the only kind of pain I have of any kind, is on the right Achilles heel, Achilles tendon, but it's nothing like the pain I had with the left hip. Nothing like that at all. Yeah, so I got a few things to talk about today. One is the 2025 hiking season. I've been thinking a little bit more about it and coming up with some options. Again, depending on how my training and rehabilitation goes. But I do have a penciled in schedule, tentative if you will, for the 2025 season. And once we get into a more sheltered area on this trail, I'm going to tell you about it and see what y'all think. Till then, I'm just going to keep pushing down this trail with this wind just hammering into my face. Right now, I'm taking a break. I'm having my coffee and I'm having one of my Freshie Crouches. We're at the area, the turnaround area where we've been turning around for the last couple of training hikes. Somewhere around 6.5 kilometers in, but today we're going to keep going further. We want to do more miles, but we're inside a porta potty. Yes, we are. Oh, we're not actually using the facilities, but the wind is so strong and cold that I thought, you know what, there's nobody else around. I'm going to sit inside there. Now, a lot of you might think, oh, Jasper, that is nasty. And you know what? I don't think so. In all truthfulness, on some trails as a thru hiker, I've actually slept in pit toilets, which are a little bigger than this, of course, but I've slept in pit toilets before, and so has many other thru hikers. Just because the rain or the cold or the wind or the snow or whatever. But anyhow, it's a good little spot to take a break. We're going to be sheltered once we get out of here and go up the road and make a left turn. We're going to be sheltered, the most we're going to be sheltered on this particular hike. So then I'm going to tell you about what my upcoming plans are for 2025 as far as hiking. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy my coffee and hope nobody shows up to use the privy. Back on, I think this is called Park Road or Park Street. Either way, we're sheltered again here from the wind. We have the cottages, the trees between us and the lake. So, talking about upcoming thru hike season 2025. So first of all, Joanne had mentioned to me a couple of days ago she'd like to go see her brother again in Cornwall. Now, that's what she did last year, and that afforded me the opportunity to thru hike the Rideau Trail, because that goes from Kingston to Ottawa, and it's just 1.5 hours from Cornwall to Kingston on the train, and it just worked out well. She's told me she'd like to go again this year. He is having surgery, and he has dementia, Alzheimer's, and so on. And it's it's progressively getting worse, and so on. So, so that's going to happen in the fall, which means I could then hike the Rideau Trail again this year in the fall. So, assuming we do go to Cornwall, that is a trail I will do again in the fall. But right now, the immediate future, as we are today. So as you know, we're rehabilitating, we're training, and so on. Today we're looking at 15 kilometers, flat, easygoing kind of underfoot trail with a 25-pound pack. I want to increase that to 20 kilometers, and I want to increase that pack weight a little bit and keep building. I want to get back on single file trail day hikes, and then 2 and 3 day hikes with a wild camp on trail. That's my immediate future over the next, well, let's say 5 weeks or so. Once I'm comfortable with that, then I would like to do a section hike on the Bruce. And I thought about, in fact, I'd mentioned that maybe we'll do the Blue Mountain or something, whatever, but I think what we're going to do is, I'm thinking about doing the Sydenham section. Yeah, that'll be okay. Around 170 kilometers or something. 6 or 7 days or whatever that would take me to do. 7 or 8 days, depending on what I can do, the distance and so on each day. But right in the middle it goes through Owen Sound, which is a good resupply point. So I'm thinking sometime in May, maybe towards mid or the end of May, of doing a section hike of the Bruce Trail, which would be the Sydenham section. Maybe. That's what I'm thinking. If that goes well, and let's say by the end of May or whatever, I've got that completed, maybe after that, I might do some more section hikes of the Bruce, or possibly, as I'd also mentioned on a previous video, I might do the half of the Bruce, Collingwood to say Niagara or Collingwood to Toby. So if I do the Sydenham section, then as an end-to-end, then I might do the southern half of the Bruce again, Collingwood to Niagara, which I did a couple of years ago. Again, I'd mentioned that and I enjoyed it. So that's also probably coming up this year. After that, I would be thinking about going back to the Scottish Highlands. We'd mentioned that. I think for me, first of all, Everest is going to be off the table now, simply because it's a $10,000 cost overall, flights and accommodations and all this kind of stuff just to do the hike. It's a lot of money for a 2-week kind of hike. I mean, I didn't spend that when I did the whole Appalachian, so I'm thinking maybe not, then the Everest Base Camp. But what I am thinking, as I'd mentioned, was the Scottish Islands, flying to Glasgow from Toronto, and doing the West Island Way again because I loved it, and then from Fort William doing maybe the UK's highest mountain, which would be Ben Nevis, and then continuing north from Fort William to Inverness on the Great Glen Trail, or the Great Glen Way, which is a trail I have never done. So that would be a new trail this year. And then maybe before or after that, the Rideau. So that looks like what we've got maybe coming up. We've got a section trail on the Bruce, which would be the Sydenham. We've got maybe a half of the Bruce, the southern half, Collingwood to Niagara, or Collingwood to Toby. We'll see. We've got, I'm not sure in which order they would come. We've got the Rideau Trail, and we've got the West Island Way and the Great Glen Way. So that is looking like penciled, likely penciled, my 2025 hiking season. Again, a lot depends on my rehabilitation, my training, and how it all goes. I may or may not get all that done, but that's what I'm thinking. Okay. At about a little over 9.5 kilometers in, let's keep hiking. Arriving back at the little cottage that we rent for the winter. There's my trusty Dodge Caravan. Maybe see some rust on the back if you can see that in the GoPro. and some on the sides. Those I've got to repair, which I've got all the parts for now. Just need a couple of nice days. I can get that done. Whew. Yeah. So my plan was 15 kilometers or thereabouts today. Let's see what we got. Well, we didn't make it. We got 14.91. So I'm going to round that off to 15 anyhow. So that's what we got, 14.91. Took me 4.5 hours. That's with half an hour or so of breaks. I took 2 15-minute breaks. And yes, I'm done. Okay, so nice 15-kilometer hike, and I'm happy with it. And you know what? I'm going to sign off, and we will see you next time.